attraction. I'm about to get mean. I'm about to get loud. Spotlight on me when I take my bow. You're gonna pay full price if you want front row. I got a Hollywood star. I got my name in stone. Are you ready for the show? Sit back and listen. I'm gonna blow your mind. I am a superstar, and I knew I'd come this far. You better make way. Get off my stage. Lights, camera, action. I'm the main attraction. I'm the main attraction. You're gonna feel your heartbeat when it starts to rush. One look, leave your jaw wide open, 'cause I'm illustrious. Are you ready for the show? Sit back and listen. I'm gonna blow your mind. I am a superstar, and I knew I'd come this far. You better make way. Get off my stage. Lights, camera, action. I'm the main attraction. I'm the main attraction. I am a superstar, and I knew I'd come this far. You better make way, get off my stage, lights, camera, action. I'm the main attraction. I'm the main attraction.
Hi, welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, check out what we got.
Thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the voice of the Northwest Racing iRacing series on LSRTV and proudly again on the Community Radio Network. As always, we're excited for another season of the best iRacing Pacific drivers of the Northwest putting on a show that you all enjoy every Monday night. Join us also on LSRTV or listen on the Community Radio Network at wearecrn.com. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener, iRacing style, CRN LSRTV for the Northwest Racing Series.
Last corner, last lap, power.
nobody realizes how hard this stuff is, how many hours you have to put into it.
That would be one of my dreams come true, just to win a big race like that.
It's a gut feeling. I mean, man, in these cars, anything can break, man, anything can happen, so it takes a lot of luck.
Fresh off of a rebrand in 2024, it quickly became our biggest year yet. With the action bringing us to 31 different racetracks, we produced over 351 live events. Short track racing continues to grow, and our mission is to help make it thrive. From our hometown heroes to those on the national stages, even across the world.
Funny idea at first that somehow we're sitting here in Australia.
What a race we've got in turn number 3. It's heating up. Swingers and are inbound. Nearly Carson on the nose of Brazil. Oh, look at Jimmy. Wow. Not Jim Chisholm, another last corner. Last lap after 50 grand Jim Chisholm.
Every lap, every moment, every story, we are setting the pace.
Oh yeah, I've drove for people. I'll it's whatever. And then, but it's like in another country across the world. That's a little bit of a challenge.
Somebody stole a beer truck. It don't matter who it was. Grab a can and drink it up. Let's keep
There's a lot of cussing,
man, we're good to go. Yeah, we hit them.
a lot of drinking,
There's more than enough for all of us.
maybe some nudity. Gonna be exciting.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Northwest Racing Series, iRacing on LSRTV and on the Community Radio Network simulcast. Of course, we are at the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the Northwest Racing Truck Series are ready to go for round number 3 of their, of course, season number 10 here tonight. As always, welcome to the broadcast coverage. I am Wesley Outland. Joined alongside will be somebody very soon. I'm just kind of handling things here. And as always, Charles Wooten is our producer, pushing the buttons, making sure everything goes well as we are at virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So first off, before we go any further, I want to say that we do apologize for missing the coverage of last week. So according to Charles, we still have the race available, and later down the trough sometime, I don't know, we will voice track that race, because obviously I heard it was a pretty dandy of a good one last week. But with that being said, obviously we just pick up where we left off, and we now move ourselves into tonight's event here at Phoenix, at Mississippi last week, but now at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So Las Vegas Motor Speedway is where we are tonight, and 200 miles, 134 laps will be the distance that these drivers get ready to go here. As right now we are working on bringing in our next person, working on, and we should be ready to try to bring him in now. And he is a good friend of mine from the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. He's going to be calling the trucks at Vegas with me tonight, my friend, after the All-Star race in Charlotte. Redneck announcer Jacob Reeves from Rome, Georgia, host of the Door Banging Download. I encourage everybody to check it out on your podcast platforms and outlets. And, buddy, welcome to the Northwest world, my friend.
Wesley, buddy, I'm happy to be here, buddy. I mean, I'm telling you, this pretty cool little deal right here in Las Vegas. Got the Northwest Racing Truck Series, buddy. This is it's gonna be a dandy right here. We've already seen some racing on iRacing as far as the trucks and everything else goes, buddy. So this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it should definitely be a good one, and we are glad that you're joining me, buddy, to call the action here tonight. Not sure where our partner in crime, Jeremy Stanley, is, and if he pops in, we'll try to make a trio out of it, or ever how we do it. I don't know. That's I don't get paid the big bucks in those decisions. So whatever goes on, they'll figure that out. But nonetheless, man, I'm glad you're able to step in.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
All right, so qualifying right now going on the racetrack for the drivers, and they worked around the speedway. Sean Brightsman from Puyallup, Washington, the man of course. We're kind of watching him to see what he'll do here, and got to make sure you get a pretty good lap around this racetrack. You know, Jacob, this is a fun place. We call a lot of NASCAR races at Vegas. It's 1.5 miles, and obviously I think we're going to see ourselves have a fun one here tonight as we watch Sean Brightsman finish up his qualifying lap.
Yeah, Wesley, I mean, Vegas is one of those crazy tracks, I guess you could say, especially for the trucks. I mean, you know, you can run wide open here for, you know, maybe a good 15 laps, at least till the tires fall off. And then after that, it's pretty much just hold on to what you got. Obviously, you can, I mean, multiple grooves. You can run it up on the top. You can run it in the middle. You can run it all the way down there on the bottom side.
Down in the cellar is right.
Sorry. I'm having that mic issue again, but sorry about that. Go ahead, Kevin. Is on the racetrack qualified now, Jacob, and we're going to see what this man out of Walla Walla, Washington will be able to do in that 00 Click It RV entry.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, what I was saying was, you know, you could run it up on the top side, run it in the middle, or also run it down on the bottom side, or as I would say, Wesley, down there in the cellar where Grandpappy hides the moonshine. That is, you know, multiple grooves all the way around this track is where you can run.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just wherever your truck feels comfortable. But also got to be careful over there in 1 and 2. Be very, very careful. There's a bump right over there, right in the middle of 1 and 2. If you hit that, it'll just basically bounce the splitter right off the racetrack, shoot you straight up the track, and then obviously 3 and 4, when the tires get worn off, you're just sliding all the way to the wall. You're starting to get tight and everything. So very, very fast racetrack, but you got to be careful here.
And we certainly will be keeping an eye on that, no doubt, here tonight here at the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we get you ready for tonight's event for the Northwest Racing Series. Let's get you caught up on, obviously, what's been going on the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Daytona was a wild one. It was one that we definitely will not forget, one of those crazy races for the Northwest Racing Series. And then, obviously, again, we missed you last week with the Northwest Racing Series. Mr. Charles Wooten had some, it's not his fault. It was the world of the internet, and his provider had a massive outage, and because of that, we were not able to broadcast live last week. But obviously, we are working on either hopefully coming up with a date to re-air that, because I heard that it was entertaining at Phoenix, but now you pick it up and we go to Las Vegas. And with 90 seconds left here, Jacob, until we end qualifying and move into the racing, one thing that the Northwest Racing Series has tried to do this year is try to mimic the real NASCAR Truck Series schedule, and that's kind of why we're seeing what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty cool right there to see that, to try to mimic something that, you know, is really going on. It's awesome to see that right there. And, obviously with Vegas and obviously, with other tracks and everything else, I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. I've noticed other leagues do the same thing. But, from what you've been telling me, this league right here, this is top-notch guys right here. So we'll see if they can do the same thing that the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series does. So we'll see what happens with these boys.
In my humble opinion, they are probably the most professional and fun Northwest drivers in the Pacific Northwest. Are all based out of the West Coast area, California, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, all Western state drivers from the West Coast, the Pacific Northwest being represented, and they are just an absolutely delight. This is, again, my 5th year. First year, I was a pit reporter, and for 4 years now, I've been lead anchor with the Northwest Racing Series. Me and Charles Wooten's been here since its inception, and we are ready to bring it to you again. And, Jacob, I hope you enjoy working with us tonight. I hope you enjoy the LSRTV experience, but I also hope that you take in what some of these awesome guys put on. It's time to introduce the starting lineup for tonight's round 3 of the Northwest Racing Series in Billings, Montana. Jeff Stabnow's on the pole, and Ryan Bloom, a former ARCA truck champion, will make up row number 1. Row number 2, you're going to see Dennis Moore in the 44 for Win Racing, and Tyler King, a former champion, right there on the outside of the 21. Row 3, the road course king, the Daytona winner, Paul Newton, and the defending 3-time champion, Dan West Jr. from Shelton, Washington, on the outside. Row 4, we're going to find Devin West, his son, a former champion from last year, and Kevin Smith from Walla Walla, Washington, will tonight be the night for the 00. Moving on to your top 10, Kenneth Garber in the 94, and Brett Johnson. Jacob will start 5th in the 7th.
Starting in that 11th spot is going to be Christopher White right there in the number 19 machine. To his outside is going to be Roy Grande. He's going to be starting in P12 and number 11. You got Dan Lothar starting in P13 with Troy Daggett starting in P14. Rod Hutter will start in P15. To his outside is going to be Ryder Shifley starting in P16. Chase Carolo will start in P17 with Josh Childress starting in P18. And rounding out the top 20, Stephen Bartlett will start in P19. To his outside, Sean Brelsman.
John Brightsman, we'll watch him. Row 11, Chris Walters and Taylor Alto in the 88, a new name for the Northwest Series. Cody Victory and Todd Miles on row number 12. Row 13, Spencer Hamilton and Robert Gamble. On row 14 of the race, we'll find Corey Alkebarger and Carl Burke, the legend of the Northwest from Winnemac, Washington. 28, row number 15, top 30, Chris Kynes and Stephen Paulison. And the rest of the lineup will find Bryce Clark, 31st. Scott Hutchinson will start 32nd. 32 trucks, 200 miles. If you add Frank Harris to the back, he'll make truck number 33 by his lonesome row. The 33 drivers, 200 miles, 134 laps. Jacob Reeves, no stages, no fast repair, 60% fuel capacity, 3 sets of tires. And actually, it's supposed to be 100% fuel capacity. That is a hiccup on their part. And you'll see probably Charles manually fix it right here for you in just a moment, because he can literally click the buttons and change it. And then they'll have 4 sets of tires, 3 sets in the pits plus a set on the truck. 200 miles, Jacob, 134 laps, and again, no stages for the race tonight.
Boy, this is going to be a good one right here. And we're going to see a lot of different things right here, Wesley. It's going to be guys that you may see guys just straight up send it right here at the start, or a lot of them will probably be trying to save that rubber, save those tires to try to see as long as they can go as far as pit strategy and everything.
Well, we look forward to bringing it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in. It is go time here at virtual Las Vegas. They come to the firebox, and ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. We're underway here at Las Vegas. Jump to the inside. Give the lead to Jeff Stabnow. He'll lead him into turn number 1. It's more right behind him. Bloom to third, and they're heading your way, Jacob, for lap 1 to the back straightaway.
And Moore's already wanting to go to the front, baby, jumping down to the bottom side. Stabnow going to jump up to the top side. Dennis Moore in the 44 started third. He's going to try to lead lap 1.
Opening lap, Dennis Moore. Look at this frantic racing in the back of the pack as we watch this happening. The 57 under attack by the 73. This is all happening in behind the top 10, top 15, and now they finally start to settle down a little bit amongst themselves.
They're starting to settle down, but up here at the front, I mean, I'm Tyler King on that top side. Devin West Jr. trying to follow him. You got Devin West, I should say West Jr. up there on that top side. Then Devin West down on the bottom side. Watch out, here comes Kevin. He's going to look down to that inside lane. He's going to try to make a move.
Thought about going for that spot again as they work their way to the back straightaway. Dennis Moore now up on the high side, bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Jeff Stabnow creeping to the inside. He thought about going for 3 wide for just a minute. Stabnow, the pole man, wants to lead back for Moore as they cross the line. 3 laps in. Still a long way to go in this one, and they work their way back into turn 1.
Yeah, Stabnow's really trying to follow where he needs to go. Dennis Moore holding off very, very good right now. Ryan Bloom being very, very aggressive, starting on the outside of the front row. Looks down to the inside of Stabnow, but he'll fall in line. Front 3, single file. Tyler King trying to find draft, as well as Dan West Jr. off turn 4.
And that right now works their way across the stripe. Another one on the board. Look at down the 25. That's Ryan Bloom. Bomb speed for Win Racing now. Sets his sights. They got new wrap jobs on those trucks for the Click It RV squad. They now set their sights on Stabnow. He's in the middle of that Click It RV race team Win Racing sandwich going to 3.
Yeah, he's right smack dab in the middle of it, and Tyler King may be jumping up here, one part of that old sandwich right up there as well. Dennis Moore still leads. Stabnow all over his tailgate, almost bump drafted him, damn near shoving him across the start-finish line. Brian Bloom's going to fall in line. Stabnow looks to the outside. He'll back away. He'll follow Moore in 1.
Got to work and watch that, no doubt about it, as we see these drivers work their way again here at Vegas down the Nellis Straightaway. If you didn't know, Nellis Straightaway is named after the Nellis Air Force Base that is adjacent to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, drag strip, speedway, and dirt track on the backstretch. 5 laps in, Dennis Moore leads the battle over Stabnow. They're single file. We now get some company. Here comes also Smith battling West. That goes on into turn 1.
Yeah, Smith right up here trying to rock and roll down there on the bottom side. He's got West up on the top side. The other West up here is top as well. Smith going after the West. One next shoot. As front 3 still single file. Stabnow kind of looks to the top, but Kevin Smith down to the inside. Kick Devin West back a spot. Kick Kevin Smith up to the 6th spot.
Right now, top speed of the race. We are seeing them hit their marks perfectly. Fastest lap of the race all the way back in 20 seconds. Spencer Hamilton, 29.982 seconds. That goes on as we watch the leader Moore battle again with Stabnow on the back straightaway.
And Ryan Bloom is very aggressive, Wesley, up here in this 3rd spot. Looks to the inside, peeks a hole, and then he jumps back in line, just trying to stay in that draft. But he's letting Stabnow know that he is there, and he has the opportunity a couple of times to possibly take a shot and look down to the inside. But it looks like he's just going to be fine and content running into that 3rd spot. But for how long? The tailgate of Stabnow, almost turning him off turn 2. Here comes Bloom to the inside.
And that's something we'll definitely keep an eye on. Dennis Moore, Jeff Stabnow right there as they make contact up the racetrack. Go Stabnow. It's now the 25. Throws the block on the bottom, looking for second, trying to get to his teammate there, and it's getting frantic in the early going here at Vegas, going to 1. Now Tyler King wants to join the battle.
Oh, baby, all the door banging that you want here in Vegas. Tyler King door banged with Stabnow. Right after Ryan Bloom door banged with him. Here comes Kevin Smith. Well, he door banged with Stabnow. He's only going to take so many of those door bangs, to be honest with you, Wesley Outland. But now, here we go. Smith looking down to the inside, almost gets into Stabnow up turn 4.
Yeah, it is getting crazy right now as we watch all of this continue to happen around the racetrack. Great racing, exciting racing going on here as we continue to keep a lock on watching what's happening in the front. It is Moore in the lead. Bloom in second. Look at them scatter as the Daytona winner, Paul Newton, cracks the top 10 going into turn number 3 there, Jacob.
Yeah, I've been watching Paul Newton back there, really starting to make some moves. He just got around Lothar, Dan Lothar, the 63. Now he's starting to make some moves, jumping his way up here to try to get up here in the middle of this battle as well. Up front, Dennis Moore still holds on. Ryan Bloom was able to make that move around Stabnow. Now he's got to go to second. Tyler King's going to hold down Kevin Smith. Now he's going after Stab now. Bloom goes all the way down to the bottom. Yep, Moore puts the block on him. Bloom very aggressive, trying to go for the lead.
What a phenomenal race these guys are putting on right now as they work their way back again into the turn. Off of turn number 4, back to the line. It is now Ryan Bloom. He got company with Tyler King. Battle for the lead with the trio of trucks up into turn number 1.
King goes up top, Bloom down on the bottom side. Dennis Moore, loving every bit of it. Wants every single one of them to race it out, race to their heart's content. Stab now. Now he's got to deal with Kevin Smith. Right behind him, Dan West Jr. and Christopher White back here in the middle of this as well. Whoa, Kevin Smith had to get out of the gas. Almost ended up turning Stab now off turn 4 as Moore still trying to hold off Bloom going into 1.
Very exciting racing here at the start of things, and the opening 14 laps now about to be complete. It's right now Dennis Moore. He hits his marks. He leads right now. King on the outside, and they're going to go stride for stride as they work up the banking off the Dallas straightaway heading to turn number 3.
We got a caution out on the racetrack, Wesley Outland. Big time crash back there in the back.
Yeah, it's Sam Carrillo with a problem with the number 81 machine. He hits the bottom of the racetrack on the back straightaway. This will put us under our first caution. Chase Carrillo's truck. Watch this. Did he have some help? The blue 81 working his way back down the start-finish line. And here's the setup for it as you see Ryder Shiflett behind him in the number 2. Looking high, looking low. Gotta wonder, Jacob, if maybe the 2 made a move on the 81, gave him a bump. Survey says yes, because the 57 checked up in front of him of Chris Kynes. And then he got plowed from behind by Corey Eckelbarger in the 73 as well.
Yeah, he got plowed right there. Took the whole tailgate off of the 81. He may end up having a meatball flag. No, actually, Corey Eckelbarger in the 73, the one that plowed him, he's going to get the meatball flag. There you see it, ends up going around. Carrillo goes around, and then nowhere to go for Eckelbarger. Just down there on the bottom side, trying to figure out a way. Didn't know he was going to come back down the racetrack, and sure enough, he did. Bam! Nails him right in the tailgate.
Yeah, caution out over the racetrack, and I'm got to wonder here right now. Jacob, do you think anybody comes down pit road here early with 15 laps into this race?
I mean, you got 4 sets of tires, and, you know, from what we're hearing, you know, obviously with 100% fuel capacity tires, I expect to see some of these guys go down pit road. Obviously, Carrillo will go down pit road because he's got damage, but the rest of these guys, you know, some may not. It really depends on what's been handling. Maybe if they pushed it a little bit too hard, they may think to go ahead and burn a set right here.
Will anybody come down? We understand now that some drivers pitted, but some others didn't. 15 stayed out. This will let us reset things, and we're taking a break from the SimCity 200. We roll the dice and go back to a restart at Vegas when we return. This is racing on LSRTV and listening on the Community Radio Network.
Hi, welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, check out what we got.
Thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
Lights off on the pace truck. Welcome back to coverage of the pace car. The trucks are ready to come back to the restart box. Welcome back to coverage of round number 3 of the Northwest Racing Series. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten working on punching the buttons. And Jacob, we are getting ready to bring the field back to green. Still a long way to go in this one, and it has been a Win Racing Team LSRTV affair as we go back for the restart.
Yeah, Wesley, I mean, that racing right there was so aggressive up there with Dennis Moore and Tyler King and Ryan Bloom and Stabnow. I mean, he's just lucky to be where he's at because he could have got turned a couple of times.
Field ready to make their way back to the restart zone. They're in the box. Green flag back out. We're back to it again here at Virtual Las Vegas.
Here we go, Dennis Moore. He's going to jump away, try to get away from the rest of the field, but the draft will start to pull him back. Here comes Ryan Bloom on the inside with help from Smith. Up top, Tyler King. No help at all. Right behind him, Dan West Jr. trying to muster something up down there on that inside lane. Don't count out Stabnow. Your pole center. We got one slow back in the back. 77, Frank Harris on the bottom of the racetrack, but we're staying green as Dennis Moore leads at the line.
Great racing going on as they work their way back again to the start-finish line. The racing has been exciting so far. It has been Dennis Moore up in front. Stabnow, the pole man, falls all the way back to fifth. Ryan Bloom, Smith, King in the middle of this Win LSRTV battle for another season in the early going at 4.
And I'm telling you, check out the fanning out back here in the back. I mean, Devin West up there, all of them fanning out with Dan Lothar up there as well in that ninth spot. Devin West in the middle of it, Kenneth Garber, all these guys, I mean, they're fanning out all over the place, Wesley. It's just one of those things that we love about Vegas.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that as well as we continue to see all of this transpiring. 20 of 134 laps in this race. It is Dennis Moore leading. Look at now Smith on the inside going after Tyler King. Tyler King up high. Stabnow watches this going along with the back stretch, and we now go to a conga line in the top 10 or so as they go into 3.
Kevin Smith has looked to the inside numerous times right here on Tyler King, much like what we were seeing Ryan Bloom do a while ago. It may end up costing him. Smith slips coming off of turn 4. Here comes Stabnow. Here comes West Jr. They're going to look down to the end. Smith going to have to get a muster up or get some momentum up on that top side. Better watch his back door. Stabnow, West, White, West. All these guys may end up trying to hang Smith out in 3.
Phenomenal racing going on as we continue to watch them work their way around the racetrack. Down into turn number 4, down to the tri-oval. Look at this on the inside. There's that battle now, the 19. There's White, Christopher White now. Peeking in the middle, now down to the inside. The West family, that's Dan West Jr., the blue, white, and red truck. On the inside, the red and white truck on the outside, son Devin West, and they're door-to-door now. Pulling up in front of them is also the machine of Stabnow in turn 3.
Boy, front 3 have straight up checked out. Kevin Smith kind of holding everybody up a little bit. Stabnow, West Jr. and West, the father-son combo back there. Little bit of contact for White. Getting into Lothar up here on the top side, and White's going to jump down to the bottom. He's going to take a West Jr. up there as well. Stabnow gets loose. He almost gets up into the fence. Everybody's skipping, scattering as Stabnow gets loose in turn.
It was if the lights cut on in the middle of the night in the ranch. The roaches are scattering around, inside and outside, trying to find somewhere to hide from the fly quarters. 4 wide, up the middle. Look at this now. In the top of the racetrack, you got Dan West Jr. He's got White to the inside. Dan Lowther watches all this going on behind him. They were 4 wide for a second. Now they come back down and they get back door to door, going to 3, Jacob.
Yeah, but give them time. I'm sure they'll try to get back to that 4 wide. I mean, if they made it work one time, I'm sure they can make it work again. As well, one gets up there into the wall. Believe that might have been Lowther, and now he's going to end up costing him. Roy Grande going to the top side, trying to go for 9th. With Lowther on the bottom, Grande up top. Front 3, still single file. But now, here comes Kevin Smith. He's trying to muster something up. He's got Devin West and Jeff Stabnow right behind him.
Yeah, that's our buddy watching on this. And by the way, we're trying to finally get Trading Paints to start working correctly. I think we finally got it working now. It's been having some issues, it seemed like, the last couple of weeks. Nonetheless, it is working now as the racing rolls on. The leaders work their way back around the racetrack, and it is a good show. The Northwest iRacing Truck Series, Sim City 200 from virtual Las Vegas. We're heading towards lap number 30, and Roy Grande looking to go to the inside and make a move on White, making it in the top 10 as they work into 3.
Yeah, and he is there, and he is going to see if he can try to make it stick. Whoa, damn, West Jr. almost gets up into the fence and almost comes down across Grande. Now here comes White. They may look 3 wide, but West shuts the door on him. Grande will shoot down to the bottom side. Wesley, you know as well as I do, he's going for the twofer. He's going around White. He's going to try to get West Jr. and also may go for 3 with Stabnow, but Stabnow puts the block on him.
Thought about making it happen, and here he comes looking for nothing but the headlights down on the bottom. Inside, racing action rolling on here. Into turn 4. Keep an eye on Stabnow. He's now in stealth mode. He's now looking for the opportunity to take this spot for the lead as they work back into the corner.
Yeah, I mean, they are moving all over the place. Moore still holds on. King up here. Bloom's actually slipped back just a little bit, not too much. Maybe about half a second, but give or take, he's nowhere near what Tyler King is. I'm still watching all this back here and just hoping to God that they don't end up spinning every single one of them. Kenneth Garber back here trying to look down to the inside lane with Brett Johnson up top. And then right there in front of them, you also got Josh Childers. All these guys making moves, going to the top, going to the bottom, as Johnson goes way up the racetrack over in 1 and 2.
Thought about going for that spot again. Now we stay back single file, back up in front. There's a battle heating up for the lead. Moore now got company by King. King is there as we now see King to the outside, to the inside, and put Ryan Bloom in the dogfight. That goes on into turn number 1.
Yeah, but how about Roy Grande, baby? He is up here and getting it done. Started 12th, he's all the way up to 4th now. Ryan Bloom, we saw how aggressive he was early on in this race, Wesley. He better watch out for Roy, because Roy has been very aggressive and shot past a lot of these guys, both the West, Stabnow, Smith, White. He shot past all these guys like they were sitting still. Ryan Bloom better watch his tailgate. Roy Grande is coming to the house.
It is Moore, it is King, Bloom, Grande, Smith, West, top 5, along with Stabnow. West, that is Devin West 6th, Dan West 8th, White and Lowther currently your top 10 as we hit lap number 30 of this race, and things kind of simmer down just a little bit as we are watching some climbers, including Roy Grande. He's the one that's into the top 5. He's in 4th, and meanwhile, the 9, Walters, trying to get around the Brightsman and Stabnow entries down into turn number 1.
Walters down there on the bottom side. He's able to get around Brightsman and also trying to get around Josh Childers. Up on the top side. This is just outside the top 10 and just inside the top 15. Walters able to make that pass, so bump him up a couple of spots. Still watching this all kind of trying to go crazy up here for the front. Rob Bloom looking down to the inside of Tyler King, but nothing is there. We stay with the battle back in the back.
By the way, if I am trying to keep up with things correctly, that is the number, the 39 at Childress, I believe, the truck that's got the Hooters colors of the number 24 on time and scoring. The number of the truck does not match the number on time and scoring. You know, that's one of my biggest pet peeves there. But it is Walters. No, I'm sorry. It's the machine there of Childress we're watching. Nonetheless, look at Team LSRTV. Get around Christopher White as that goes on in turn 4.
Yeah, Christopher White's got to really find something. I mean, I'm telling you, he is just straight up getting sent all the way by those guys and actually running up on that top line, Wesley. You know, I talk about this a lot. You know, with being on the bottom side, you can try to save tire, but eventually you'll have to move up to the top side because you can get runs up there, but at what cost? It will burn your tires up on the top side. On the bottom side, you can save the tire, but you're going to straight up get left. White had to jump up a couple of times just to try to protect his position And a lot of that going into the 1 and 2 area, you can run up there in that top lane or middle of the top lane, and you can really make some huge runs coming off too.
Dennis Moore up in front. Tyler King, Ryan Bloom. There you see the 9. That's Walter's truck. Got Dan Lowther behind him and the Daytona winner. Paul Newton Designs, number 27, right there behind him as well as they put another lap on the board. Under 100 laps to go also in this race already, Jacob, as they go into 1.
Yeah, I mean, and they are clicking off very, very fast. 30 seconds. These boys are getting after it here with these trucks here at Vegas. And I'm telling you, I mean, all these guys making moves, going where they got to go. There you see Josh Childress, obviously Hooters, or 39, whichever one you want to look at it. But he's up here in the midst of a battle right now with Kenneth Garber. Oh, boy, Childress almost gets up into the fence. That's going to open the door wide open for Kenneth Garber. So go up to 16. Josh Childers is going to get kicked back to 17. And Kenneth Garber, Wesley, started 9th in the field. He has slid back big, but he's trying to make up some lost ground.
Moore still continuing to hit his marks. There you see the Childress truck down, getting company from Garber. The Sparco, number 94 machine. As that goes on, they work their way back around, start-finish to complete yet another lap here at virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Top of the hour we go. We'll pause very quickly for 10 seconds of network identification. This is iRacing to the Northwest Truck Series on the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Midnight Eastern Time approaches, 11 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Mountain Time, and for the West Coast drivers, it is right now 9 p.m. in the Pacific West Coast. Welcome back to coverage wherever you are in all of those time zones on the Community Radio Network and on LSRTV. I'm Wesley Outland, Jacob Reeves alongside the Redneck Announcer. Check out more of his information on the Door Bang and download on Spotify and other social platforms where podcasts are available. And Jacob, right now, a solid 40-lap run being driven by these guys, and it has been Dennis Moore leading the way for the most part. Only one caution to stop the race so far.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis Moore, I mean, he basically put it on the loud pedal literally from lap 1. I mean, you had Jeff Stabnow, who was your pole setter, but then Dennis Moore, literally first lap, he just straight up took it from him. Stabnow might have got that lap, but ever since then, it's been Dennis Moore. Ryan Bloom, he might have had a shot. He might have led him a couple of laps, but Dennis Moore's really been, I guess you could say, the Kyle Larson right here of the Northwest Racing Truck Series, at least here in Vegas, at least for tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But check it out, looking 3 wide up here. Oh, baby, Kevin Smith looking to the inside. Roy Grande is going to get kicked up to the top side of 1 and 2.
And what an amazing drive we've been seeing. And I got a feeling it's about to become Team LSRTV and Win Racing round number 2 again as they've ran each other down. It's Win Racing up in front. Put Tyler King now holding off the likes of now Grande, the Taco Bell machine, as they work across the line to put lap number 43 on the board, going back to 1.
Oh boy, I love old Taco Bell. It's a perfect time right here. Midnight, baby. Get me some Taco Bell. Get the DoorDash lined up for that bad boy. But Roy Grande's slipping back a little bit. He'll flip back to the 5th spot. Kevin Smith will assume that 4th spot. Tyler King still sitting in the 3rd spot. And Bloom has really slowed down that aggressive take that we saw him have earlier on, West Outlet. He's kind of slowed it down. Why? Because he's falling back. Dennis Moore is actually starting to outrun him at this point. And there you see Kevin Smith. He's going to put on a little bit of pressure. Jumps down to the inside of Tyler King. Kevin Smith trying to go for 3rd, but watch out. Get a run off turn 2. Not this time. Kevin Smith will get 3rd.
Yeah, he thought about it there for just a matter of a moment, but then he kind of retracted and reset again. Right now, Dennis Moore continuing to be the guy to lead the way. Ryan Bloom right there behind him. He's right there in that spot for second position. Put another lap on the board here as they work their way across the line. Not done yet now. Here comes the 21, Tyler King, looking for the lead now on Smith. Smith for second. Well, we got trouble. Pit stops are happening, actually. We got drivers on pit road, and most of Team LSRTV are the ones that are hitting pit stops right now, Jacob.
Yeah, and one of those drivers was your pole sitter of Jeff Stabnow, and I'm sure he is tickled to death right now to see this caution come out to try to help him out. Probably at that point, probably trying to pull a little bit of an undercut and try to get some of his track position back one way or another, or just go ahead and make some adjustments, get back out there and light it up. But all these other guys is going to be right here in front of him. But the good thing about it, fresh tires, with all these other fresh tires, he can try to use that draft that we see a lot here at Vegas here in the trucks.
Definitely something we're keeping an eye on as drivers are on pit road, including the 73 machine. You see his truck on pit lane, Echo Barker, followed by also these other guys coming to the pit lane. They're making adjustments and getting pit stops. Remember, no caution. We are still under green flag conditions, and Jacob Reeves pitting under green is a totally different world than under yellow as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you got to be careful when you're going down pit road. You don't want to slide. You don't want to speed. Slide right through pit entry. You slide right through pit entry, slide out there into the grass. You're pretty much screwed. Then you're going to have to go all the way back around. You're basically going to lose at least a lap. Then if you end up speeding going down pit road, then you're screwed on that. That's a 40-second hold, so you busted on that. Not to mention all this going on while you're going wild. Then you got to get in your pit box. Don't slide through it. You have to back up. That's going to cost you more time. Is there you see right there with the double zero, Kevin Smith, he slid right into his box perfectly, and that's what you need to do right there. You want to have a shot, stay up front, try to win this race.
Dan Lowther on pit lane. He's coming in for service in the One Fine Studios, number 63. All the while now, as we continue to see pit stop cycle around, Roy Grande, now the new leader. Now the 94, Garber joins Lowther on pit lane. Pit stops happening, and you got to be flawless as we see this happening again, Jacob, on lap number 49, about to hit lap 50 of the race.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be flawless. And also, if you're pitting with other guys, we've seen this. We saw this earlier on, Wesley, me and you in a previous broadcast. You got to be careful when you're pitting with others. You can end up tagging somebody that you're pitting with, end up spinning them out, and then it can cause a big old crash. So you got to be careful with that. So there's other factors that play a factor, especially into this green flag pit stop stuff. Cautions, it's easy. Just go down the line. Just make sure you don't drain your box and stop in it. You'll be good to go. As we see Roy Grande going down pit road. A lot more factors go into play when it's a hot track out there and you're under green.
Now, you're exactly right, and we are definitely keeping an eye and watching all of this going on, as we mentioned here, as we continue to watch all of this happen with green flag pit stops. And speaking of Roy Grande, he's on pit lane now. Sean Brightsman, now the new leader, the 88, also in his pit stall. Beautiful looking race truck of Taylor Alto, another new driver of the Northwest. Pit stops happening, and Sean Brightsman now, and Childress and Daggett, Kynes and Hutchinson now drivers up in the front. And by the way, Jacob, only now 6 trucks on the lead lap.
And what that would throw a whirlwind in if we got a caution, because what that would do, every single one of those guys that you see on your screen, all 7 of them, they would be on the lead lap. Caution comes out. Everybody else is 1 lap down. They're going to have to take the wave around, and everybody else, they can go ahead and get 4 fresh tires, and they'll be able to start ahead of all these guys that's already pitted 1 lap down. So some of these guys running long because of that. Some of these guys running long because if you pit earlier than these other guys, you got to get them right here at this point at the short part or the first part of the run. That's the end of the run. That's when these guys is going to come back and they're going to get you.
It is the Northwest Racing Series. By the way, you can follow Northwest Racing Series on Facebook as well as on Discord. If you'd like to get signed up for the new season, you still can. You've only missed this third race of the season. You just have to be a member of the Northwest and be a pretty good driver. Jacob, your first time looking at the Northwest in the broadcast booth. What's your take on what we're seeing so far tonight here, sir?
Very clean and very aggressive. I will say that. These boys are straight up getting after it right here. They're showing, obviously, on the West Coast, they know how to race right here, the Northwest area of the state. And I'm telling you, they getting after it. Some of these guys, I'm shocked. There's a couple of times I've been watching them, Wesley. I'm actually shocked they haven't wrecked. That's just how close they're getting. We've saw door banging. We've seen all kinds of stuff right here at the halfway point. What are we going to see right here at the second half of this race? Only time will tell. There it is. There it is. Big wreck.
That is Jeff Stabnow. That is Sean Brightsman, Kevin Smith, and some others involved. And as you said, it just broke loose a moment ago on lap number double nickel there, Jacob Reeves.
Yeah, and Kevin Smith actually was the one that kind of initiated all this. Just kind of snaps loose going down the backstretch there. You see him right there, snaps loose, tries to get it straightened out. Actually, that kind of looks like maybe a wheel disconnect, to be honest with you, Wesley. He just straight up just goes straight up into the outside retaining wall. Obviously, Brightsman and others had no indication. I mean, they could hit the brakes, but odds are they're still going to hit him anyways, coming right up in front of everybody. Stabnow, your pole sitter, he gets caught up in this as well. I'm curious to see what happened to Kevin Smith right there, because it's just like he just straight up just goes straight left right here.
On board with Kevin Smith right now. Did he hit? I'm wondering, Jacob, if he hit the wall and he broke something and he had no control except to turn into the pack the way he did.
Well, I mean, usually, Wesley, when you see like a wheel disconnect or something, usually the wheel's either cocked all the way to the right or to the left, or it's not moving. It was moving the whole time. You want my honest opinion, I think either his wife come in there and distracted him, or he's on his phone. That's my two options right there, because that's exactly what it looked like. I mean, I've been in that situation. I've done that, and my wheel looked exactly like that right there. So if I had to take a guess, that'd be the one of the two options.
You're vicious.
And if he's smart, he'll blame it on his phone. If he's smart, he'll blame it on his phone.
Well, we'll see how much damage also is on that truck as well. That lets us step away. We'll take a break. We're back with more in just a moment from Vegas.
Hi, welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, check out what we got.
Thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
Hey, Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the voice of the Northwest Racing iRacing series on LSRTV and proudly again on the Community Radio Network. As always, we're excited for another season of the best iRacing Pacific drivers of the Northwest putting on a show that you all enjoy every Monday night. Join us also on LSRTV or listen on the Community Radio Network at wearecrn.com. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener, iRacing style, CRN, LSRTV for the Northwest Racing Series. Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the voice of the Northwest.
Hey, I just hit that. Well, welcome back. 75 to go, back to green, and 3 wide on the restart. Understanding Jacob Reeves that our producer, Charles Wooten, checked in with Kevin Smith. Something happened with the monitor. It went down, and that's why he crashed. Man. Well, that's the third option. That would be the third option from what I said a while ago. So, you said, yeah. You said, if he's smart, he wouldn't. He would say his phone. But got a couple back here kind of slicing and dicing. A couple of them actually off the pace back there in the back. Actually, that was Kevin Smith back here. Black flag for the 5. Might have jumped the restart right there at the start. So bad right there for Devin Smith. Hate that for the number 5 entry. But that's going to open the door for Dennis Mormon. Here comes Tyler King on the outside.
Jacob, we're hearing that 2 trucks got a black flag penalty. One was the 5 of Devin West. The other one was the number 91 of Scott Hutchinson, who started in the back earlier. That's a tough break for them. Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Pick up right where we left off. And we got a caution. Moore and King battle for the lead, and we got crashing going on. Yellow flag is out. It's Kevin Smith in trouble again.
It may be him right here. We'll see kind of what happens right here with Kevin Smith and see if this is what it is right here. Is there you see it right there?
Yep, there it is.
He kind of snaps loose right here. And Wesley, there's a reason why they would throw a caution right there in that instance is because they don't know. iRacing doesn't know. Race control doesn't know what's going to happen right there with Kevin Smith. If he's going to shoot back up the racetrack when he gets the truck straightened back out. We've seen it numerous times.
Right.
Where trucks will jump down, they hit the inside retaining wall, jump right back up across the track, and just be stuck right there. So, a lot of people may question that call, but as far as the safety, I guess, and try not to, cause any more guys to get caught up in anything, I applaud it.
Well, another yellow flag out again here as Kevin Smith not having the best of nights here for the Northwest for him. Yellow flag back out again over the speedway. We'll have to re-rack them, restack them, and try to go again. And we have that moment where it's been clean racing, first 50 laps, 60 laps or so, Jacob, and then you have now the moments where it seems like cautions breed cautions, as we are, by the way, we have passed the halfway mark of this race coming up here in a few laps as well.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things, Wesley. It doesn't matter if it's, real racing or sim racing. it is true 100%. Cautions do breed cautions. Honestly, I guess you could say fatigue may set in. May start to set in. Guys might start having beef with one another. Come on, let's get this sucker going. A lot of those factors come into play when cautions breed cautions. Intentions
sure.
And anything else.
It is the Sim City 200. By the way, I want to remind you what's to come for the weeks ahead. We will be racing next Monday night. Oh boy, you're going to like this one. We're going short track racing at Richmond. First short track race of the year. We go from the, and Jacob, we always say this, right? Because we work NASRA together and other big events. And obviously it's great to have you, in the booth with me tonight for the Northwest Series. But we always say this, the wild cards, the crazy races are Daytona But once you finish with the speed week and you get away from Daytona, where anybody could win that race, obviously Paul Newton won a couple of weeks ago, then you get into the meat and potatoes of the schedule. And that was last week at Phoenix, tonight here at Vegas, and then next week we short track race at Richmond. And, of course, that's going to be a very unique to watch for sure.
Yeah, Wesley, and I believe, wholeheartedly, a lot of people may not sit there and say that, short tracks are wild cards. I tend to believe that because there's so many things that could happen at a short track. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's so much that could happen. Beef could happen. You could have guys that get upset with one another and, end up spinning somebody out. Somebody that is innocent could get collected in it. And also other wild card races such as road courses. Road courses are wild card races as well because you just never know who's going to win those races just because they're so unique.
Right. And, again, coming up, the schedule next week, we're at Richmond. Then we take off for a Monday night on April the 7th. And then we come back for another couple of weeks of racing at Portland and Nashville. We'll be off for the 1st and 4th week of April. So there's the upcoming schedule ahead as we get ready to bring the field back inside the Geico Restart Zone. And the Moore King Round 3 battle gets back to green here in Vegas in the SimCity 200. We're back underway, and Dennis Moore with a launch of the bomb speed. Clicking RV 44 over King, and now add Team LSRTV Stan West Jr. to the battle for the top 3. It's a trio for the lead in 2.
Yeah, Dan West Jr. better watch out for this 55. Looking very aggressive. Oh, boy, Tyler King jumps down to the inside. Catches Dennis Moore sleeping. Tyler King down to the inside. Dennis Moore might have costed him a shot right here, but King goes all the way down, almost getting to the grass. May open the door for Dan West Jr. He get in the middle of this. Also, Josh Childers riding the high line. Dennis Moore trying to shove Tyler King along off turn 2.
I think he knew he had to go, Jacob Reeves, and that's exactly why he punched it. Right now, new leader, Tyler King, closing in on halfway. Moore right behind him. The second half, we're setting up to be a dandy as they come to the cross flags, going back to 1.
And Dennis Moore is not happy about that right there. I mean, Tyler King dove bomb it, but hey, he had to go, and he took that shot. Now Dennis Moore being very aggressive. He wants to try to jump back up here, get this shot. He's going to get Josh Childers to go with him, maybe not. He's going to hang him out. He'll go with Tyler King. Moore jumps down to the bottom side. Right behind him, you got the 25 of Ryan Bloom. He's going to go as well. 2x2, front 4 trucks off turn 4 at the line. We're going 3 wide with Ryan Bloom on the inside.
He thought about it, and he goes now to the inside. Here comes now the 25 of Bloom. Middle, the monkey in the middle. Right there is Moore. Up high, Tyler King, and they're not done being 3 wide yet as they go to the back straightaway.
Boy, Ryan Bloom better thank his lucky stars. He about got turned right there, slid right across the nose of Dennis Moore, and Ryan Bloom will take hold of the lead. Dennis Moore's got to be sitting there saying, what has happened? I had the lead of this race. Then Tyler King took it. Now Ryan Bloom's got it. What have I got to do to get back to the front here at Vegas? He'll shoot it down on the inside. Right behind him, Josh Childers. Tyler King going it out for 3rd. Ryan Bloom leads him off turn 2.
Back straightaway, heading towards lap number 70 of this race. Ryan Bloom, now the new Pied Piper. He leads the cavalry. Dennis Moore watching on in 2nd. And here comes now with driver Watch Childress in the Hooters 24. It looks like a throwback of Chase Elliott's car from earlier a couple of years ago. He now sticks his nose into the battle for the lead of the top 3 and 2.
Yeah, they had to work their way around Stab now. They're on the bottom side, but everybody's able to jump around him. Now everybody going to get single file. Front 6 starting to get single file. Not anymore. Tyler King's going to look to the outside. Right behind him, Chris Kine's going to jump to the outside. Devin West in the 5. He's going to go down to the low side. Bloom still holds it. Battle on for 2nd. Childress going after Moore. He's going to take that spot. Moore trying to side pass to pull him back.
And he thought about just a moment ago, what do I need to do to get high, to get low? He now works to the bottom of the racetrack, sets his sights in on the number 25 of Bloom. It's Childress right behind them. Dennis Moore, Devin West on the high side, Tyler King, Chris Kynes, new contenders looking to put checkmate on the field here in the second half of the SimCity 200. Jacob, they're in one.
Yeah, watch out for Childress right here. I thought he was actually going to ride it on the top side, try to get a run, but he's actually going to cut down on the corner. He's going to cut down on the bottom side. He's going to turn blue. Both of them hit the inside retaining wall. Back up in front of the field. Grande gets involved. No. Big red caution is out in 3 and 4.
Ryan Bloom, Childress, other trucks now crashed. It is Childress up against the outside, safer barrier in reverse. He's now northbound in a southbound lane. Caution out, Jacob Reeves, as you got a replay of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Childress, he makes a move right here on the bottom side. Bloom kind of puts the block on him. Not real sure why you were, I know clean air is king right here, but at the same time, everybody just piles right in. Actually, I believe that might have been Paul Newton in the 27 that got in the middle of that. I said it was Grande, but looked like that was Newton that got involved in it as well. But aggressive moves right there being made right there, and it was an aggressive block. But the problem was the block was too late, and it ended up turning Bloom straight across Childress' nose. And then from there on out, it was just everybody surviving right there going through 3 and 4.
What a heartbreak slamming into the wall. Ryan Bloom, Childress, Newton, the Daytona winner, got a piece of it. And watch these other trucks now up in reverse. Not only did the 25 of Ryan Bloom drive up against the safer barrier in reverse, so did Childress' truck. And this puts us under another yellow flag here in season 12 of, again, the NASR DSR. In the Northwest Racing Series truck event here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is the 5th caution of the race. Here's a look at your race summary presented by Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care. And here at Vegas so far, Jacob, 4 cautions, and the last 2 cautions or 3 cautions have been repetitive in the last 10 laps or so, one after the other.
Yeah, and a lot of it's just been aggressive moves, or some of them, well, most of them's been just aggressive moves, to be honest with you, Wesley. I mean, that right there,
yeah.
A lot of people's going to sit there and say, well, clean air is king and everything else, but you still got plenty of time to be able to try to make a move right there with Tyler King, making that move and everything. I mean, it's tricky. I mean, it is tricky. I mean, why would you put that block this early on? But, clean air, a lot of factors come into play right there. The problem was it ended up costing both of them. It ended up costing King and also Childress right there, 2 very fast trucks that could have had a shot. Possibly both of them could have won this race.
Caution out again here in the SimCity 200. We'll step away and get back for the restart next.
Last corner, last lap, pass.
And we apologize about that. They're actually making their way back to the Geico restart zone, but we got nothing but love for Chris David and Race On because Charles Wooten works for Race On. We're back to green as Devin West on the loud pedal working the virtual turn 1 at Vegas. Here, back to green on lap 76, Jacob Reeves in the SimCity 200. They're back in 2.
Yeah, new players up here at the front of the field. Chris Kynes up here with Brett Johnson. Troy Daggett up here as well with Dan Lowther up here as well. Dennis Moore still in the hunt, baby. He's up here. He's led a lot of laps. He's still up here inside the top 10. So do not count out Dennis Moore here at the end of this race.
Dan Lowther, my friend. Dan Lowther up to 5th. Keep an eye on that number 63 machine. He is climbing and trying to make a spoil in the party happen. Could this be the year for the man that has had a lot of bad luck over the past? Put himself in a nice spot. Currently looking good as he works his way again right behind him into turn number 3.
Yeah, Dan Lowther, come on, baby. Give us something to talk about. That name right. Come on, Dan. Get up there and get you some. Troy Daggett up here trying to go. Chris Kynes, Dan West Jr. able to get around Lowther. And now Lowther's going to follow right in the clutches. Dan West Jr. Devin West, Brett Johnson up here. Johnson trying to get a run to try to go inside. And right behind him, Dan West Jr. looking down to the inside. He's going to follow Daggett on the bottom.
He thought about it. Here he comes now back on the outside lane. Gives him a shot on the top. Here he makes the move. That's Kynes' truck on the outside lane. Now watching all this happen, the 99 to Daggett. Daggett's looked good this year. A podium in Daytona. 3 wide. Kynes now. Will he go 4 wide? They're going to roll the dice in 2.
Dennis Moore's going to give him a 3-fer right there. He was able to almost get around West Jr. He got around Kynes, and he also got around Daggett. Here comes Moore, getting the draft off Johnson. West still leads. Here comes Moore, down to the inside. He's going to try to go around Johnson 3 wide. Moore on the bottom. You got Johnson stuck in the middle. West Jr.'s going to lift. They almost doorway going into 1. Hold on to your seat, Devin West. Here comes Dennis Moore off turn 2.
What a show they are putting on. Are you not entertained in the world of iRacing with the Northwest right now? It is for the leader. West in 2nd, Johnson 3rd. Daddy West is right there behind the sun in 4th. 2 spots up ahead. Then it's Lowther, the top 5, and now watch Chris Kynes. He's starting to climb and make a run after Christopher White on the bottom into 1.
Chris Kynes actually started 29th in the field, Wesley. He's up here inside the top 10, so good run for the 57. You know I love the number 57 of Chris Kynes, rocking and rolling, trying to get something done. Brett Johnson actually down there on the bottom side. He's got Lowther right behind him. West Jr. up on the top side. West Jr. is going to get a run. Bounces it off the fence. Johnson's still down on the bottom side. Lowther's going to take advantage of that. Right behind him, Christopher White may take advantage. He'll lift, and now he'll jump down to the bottom side and follow Lowther in 1.
I don't know what happened last week in Phoenix except knowing that Dennis Moore did win the race. He's now trying to go back-to-back. He's the new leader. But West is right there in hot pursuit on the inside, and they work their way back into turn number 4. Coming to the line, it is Moore. It is West. Look at now this battle. It is Johnson and West. They're all Team LSRTV going after Win Racing. And now Dan West Jr., last year's champion, going around Johnson in 2.
Yeah, made it look easy right there. Dan West Jr. now, he'll hold on to sole possession of that 3rd spot. Kick Johnson back to the 4th spot. White rounds out the top 5. Lowther trying to go after Daggett now and trying to make it work. He's able to shoot around him. Now front 6, 7, single file for at the moment. Christopher White's now going to look that to the outside, trying to get around Brett Johnson. Front 3, single file. White going after Johnson in 1 and 2.
Last week, Dennis Moore in his 151st career start of the Northwest Racing Series picked up the win at Phoenix to get his 16th career win in the Northwest. 65 top 10s, 106 top 10 finishes, 65 top 5s. He wants to add on to that now as he leads the way. Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr. right behind him as they work their way top 2 now into turn number 2.
Oh, boy, I'm telling you what, Dennis Moore better watch this tailgate. Got the father-son combo right behind him. and the son is leading the father. Here comes Dan West Jr. Gets a run, trying to get the draft locked and loaded and trying to get it fired off. Here comes Devin West. He's going to slide up to the top side. Christopher White's going to jump down to the bottom side. Now, Christopher White right smack dab in the middle of a West sandwich with Dev West Jr. in second, Devin West in fourth, White stuck in the middle, and Moore turned away from the younger West.
The CWM, that's the ChrisWhiteMedia.com entry right now, moves his way to the number 3 position. CWWhiteMedia.com on the truck is right now. He is the new man trying to show speed and go after Dan West Jr. and Dennis Moore, the leader, and he's catching him on the high side as they work into turn number 2.
Yeah, he's ripping that top side really, really well and starting to make up some ground just a little bit, right about half a second. And also, Wesley, he's getting the draft off Deb West Jr. as well. That's going to help him pull him in just a little bit. There you see it. The interval very slowly started to it started to shrink, but now it's starting to grow just a little bit. Then it starts to shrink. Then it starts to grow. Kind of right. I mean, seesawing back and forth right now with White. But all this going on, if he can get Deb West Jr. and Dennis Moore to start slugging it out for the lead, Christopher White will make it a 3-horse battle.
He certainly is trying to do just that, as right now another lap goes on the board, and we are not done yet. Joining the party is now Christopher White and Johnson and Lowther. Man, all these guys are doing a phenomenal job right now racing into turn number 1.
Yeah, Moore doing a fantastic job, still holding off the younger West. White still third, then the elder West sitting in fourth, and Brett Johnson started 10th. He's all the way up to 5th. Lowther still holding on to 6th. Troy Daggett still 7th. Kenneth Garber still in 8th. Chris Kynes 9th, and Sean Brightsmith sitting in 10th. Ironically enough, that's your top 10, and all of them are on the lead lap. Rest of them are a lap down. After all the strategies and the pit cycles and everything has literally thrown them for a curveball. West Jr. trying to get a run on Moore going into 1.
And right now we see Moore getting company from Dan West Jr. Career start number 307 tonight for the 3-time and defending Northwest Truck Series champion. He now goes after him on the inside, on the outside. It's Win Racing Team LSRTV all over again for the lead on lap 90 off 4.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to hit that intimidator button for some of you folks out there that played a little bit of NASCAR on the EA Sports kind of style. He's trying to hit that intimidator button and maybe try to rattle his cage and shove Moore up the hill, but Moore will not be denied. Coming off turn 2, West Jr. following right in his tire tracks. Christopher White was going to make it a 3-horse battle, but now he's starting to slip back a little bit. Devin West has actually slipped back a little bit as well. Still battling it out. West stride for stride right here with Dennis Moore, just following him and just lingering right behind him going into 1.
Hanging right there with him, my friend, as you just mentioned, cross the line here as we're closing in on lap 100 and the home stretch of this race. Somebody with a splitter issue dragging as it's in a shower of sparks down this back stretch now, going to 3. We'll keep an eye on it as Moore and West continue to battle for the lead. It's a cat-mouse game, moving inside, moving outside, below the apron. That's allowed. It's not a super speedway affair, and they go at it again into turn number 1.
West Jr., I mean, he has tried everything. He tried to get a run off 3 and 4 to maybe pull up to the door of Dennis Moore, I should say, but to no avail. Now here he goes, West, peeking down to the inside, trying to get some clean air. He will shove it into 3, trying to see if he can shove Moore up the hill. Moore goes up the hill. Here comes West Jr., but he's not got the run he needs to at least get door-to-door with Dennis Moore. West, if he gets door-to-door with him, then West Jr. may have this thing.
But there still is plenty of laps left to go in this event. 40 laps to go, as a matter of fact, under 40 to go, as it's Dennis Moore now hitting his marks down the back straightaway. Dan West Jr., they have pulled away from Christopher White. He's now back about 8/10 to the leaders. Right now, 1/10 separates the battle for the lead between Moore and West as they come to the line on lap 95.
An old school show right here between two of the best here for the Northwest Racing Truck Series. Dan West Jr. trying to rattle his cage, trying to rattle Dennis Moore's cage, but he will not be denied once again. Round and round and round they go. Who's going to win it? Nobody knows. Wesley Outlanders. Oh, baby. Dan West Jr. said it right there. Dennis Moore chops the nose, slides up the hill. Dan West Jr. trying to hold on. He gets into the fence off turn 4. And Dennis Moore, for the moment, will get a little bit of breathing room going into 1.
All this happening now is Dennis Moore now work on the outside lane, back on the inside lane. Here comes now the 55. Here, kitty, meow, meow, meow. Look out, Catman. Dan West Jr. going after Moore. This is for the lead. It's magical at Vegas in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and neither one of them wanting to jump up to the top side around the track. The only thing that's different is Dennis Moore coming off the corner just slides up just ever so slightly, which is what you want to do here at Vegas. You're not burning your tires up as much as you would try to keep it all the way down at the bottom. Just let it drift up the track. That's what Dennis Moore's doing. And other than that, they're keeping it down there, as I said earlier, down in the cellar where Grand Pepe hides the moonshine, right smack dab on the white line all the way around the track. We slip back just a little bit. We see a little bit of battling going on back there as well, but Moore and West is just trying to get him to slip up just a little bit, but he can't get him to do it.
All of this going on down into turn number 3 and 4. Oh my goodness, here we go again. Up high, up low. It is now Moore. Moore with company by Dan West Jr. Dan West Jr. peaking high, peaking low. Anyone there? I don't think he's got him yet. I don't think he's got him. Here he comes. Will he go after him again? It's the 54. That's going to be Gamble bouncing off the wall. Nonetheless, Robert Gamble's truck in trouble. We stay green. This goes on again in turn number 3. The battle for the lead. It is magical as we put 100 laps on the board. 34 to go here in the Sim City 200 when they come back off of turn 3 there, Jacob Reeves.
And Dennis Moore has really been holding him off, just jumping down right in front of him. Dan West, if he can just get his nose there, he's trying to send. But every single time Dennis Moore jumps down and puts the block on Dan West Jr. He does it every single time going into 3 and 4. West Jr. not able to get there in 1 and 2, but he's able to send it real good in 3 and 4, but Moore just puts the block on him. Very, very clean and very, very strategic racing by both of these guys. We'll see what happens right here. Moore, see what West Jr. does. West Jr. is going to send it, but to no avail. He's not able to get there once again, as both of them literally a 1/10 of a second apart from one another. Moore gets a little bit loose off turn 4. West Jr. is still not able to capitalize.
Across the line. Under 33 laps to go now. It is the go time of the race. If you saved something, you better unveil it and unveil it now. And you got to feel it. Jacob, I got a question to ask you. Late race pit stops, are they going to be a factor of this race? Last time everybody pitted was on lap 74.
Very good possibility. We'll see what they do, see who decides to jump down, as we actually do have a change for the lead. Dan West Jr. was able to overtake Dennis Moore. He slipped up in 3 and 4, and that may end up costing him. Here comes Moore back down to the inside. Moore trying to see if he can find a hole. West Jr. sends it in hard. West takes the lead coming through 3 and 4. Dennis Moore's going to slip back. He's going to make a pit stop, sliding in, slamming on the brakes. Got to get it down to that 50-mile-per-hour speed limit, and don't speed, Wesley. I got a feeling everybody's going to be going down pit road for 4 tires and filling all the way up full of fuel.
Here comes green flag pit stops. Dang it, did I call it perfectly, Jacob? And here they come, hitting their pit stops, and it's Dennis Moore and Chris Kynes, the first 2 in.
And this is going to be big right here, Wesley Outland, because Dan West Jr., he has stayed out on the racetrack. There you see others with White and the elder West coming in as well. Dan West Jr., he's staying out there. Dan Lowther, he's staying out. Brett Johnson, all these guys, they're staying out. The big deal about this is Dennis Moore went ahead and he made that pit stop, so he's going to try to pull the undercut Dan West Jr. is going to try to run long and maybe try to catch him on the back end and hope there is no caution. As now, matter of fact, screw what I said. Here comes Dan West Jr. down pit road for the final time.
And they're all coming. I had a feeling, I don't know why, it was like a light bulb that went off in my head. And I'm like, are they really getting ready to make green flag pit stops? And the survey said yes, because, yeah, right now this is really making this interesting. And this will really, I think, certainly change the outcome of this race. As right now, with under 30 to go, we saw Dennis Moore. We saw now Dan West Jr. There's Troy Daggett. They're all on pit road.
We're going to have to watch when Dennis Moore, he is going to come off of turn number 4. Where is Dan West Jr. at? He is just now coming off of pit road. Here comes Dennis Moore. This will cycle back out. It looks like, bam, there goes Dennis Moore. Shoots right by Dan West Jr. He is going to have a long road ahead of him if he wants to try to catch back up to Dennis Moore. There you see West Jr., Dennis Moore has straight up left the building. He is gone right here. West Jr. is going to have to find some kind of draft, honestly, because that's what you need right here at this point. You're full speed at this point. You got to get some draft, and you got to get some extra speed if he wants to have a shot and try to catch Dennis Moore.
It is Lowther now being shown as the new leader of the race. Boy, this is going to be fun. So impressed with everything that we've seen so far tonight. Jacob, do you think anybody's going to roll the dice and maybe not pit?
It's possible. It really is, Wesley, but, because, from what we were talking about, obviously, with 100% fuel capacity, you can go, depending, on how you've been driving it and everything, you can go about 75 to 80 laps. And I'm just speculating on that one, at least from what I know off of that right there. So 75 to 80 laps, and you probably can make it, but everybody else is literally hauling the mail right here. You look at Dan West Jr., his last lap was a 30.4. Dan Lowther ran a 31.6. Actually, he is jumping down pit road right now. Kenneth Garber ran a 31.6 the last time, so he's literally a second faster than that. Some may roll the dice, some may not. It really depends on who you're racing and just how frisky you feel on whether or not you want to try to jump down and take those tires, or if you want to go ahead and chance it. But you're wearing them tires out by a long shot. I think you want the tires more than you want the gas, in my opinion.
Be definitely interesting to watch for sure. To see how it all shuffles out in the end with 24 laps to go. Gotta love it. Heading towards the home stretch of this one. Well, I'll tell you what, Jacob, we've been very entertained. And here comes the late race caution that everybody was wondering would we see. There it is. Late race yellow flag flies as the caution comes out with under 25 laps to go. There is a caution. We're working to try to find out where it is. Stand by. Oh, boy, here it is. Jacob, this changes everything, doesn't it, buddy?
It sure does. I mean, it really does. And matter of fact, I mean, we're hearing from our producer. He thinks it's Carl Burke. And you know what? I'm going to agree with him. I think it might have been Carl Burke, to be honest with you, because of where he was on the track and what happened with the 53 of Carl Burke. If you watch him when he comes out of pit road, you'll see what happens right here with Carl Burke after he makes his pit stop. I mean, from what I'm seeing on my end, Wes, it kind of looks like he just parks it. from what it looked like, and at least that's from what I've saw on my end. But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, at this point, I mean, we're just trying to find something at this point.
Oh boy, another caution out again. Wow. And this definitely, well, I think this was what a lot of drivers were wondering. Were we going to see this or were we not? So here we go. Jacob, I'm gonna be honest with you, buddy. I really think that, you know, if you did not take advantage of green flag pit stops, you better pit now. If not, you're a sitting duck. You've used up your tires. And the guys that pitted, I think we're going to see if they can roll the dice and go for the finish. We're going to take a break. The conclusion with 20 to go from Vegas when we come back.
Nobody realizes how hard this stuff is, how many hours you have to put into it.
That would be one of my dreams come true, just to win a big race like that.
It's a gut feeling. I mean, man, in these cars, anything can break, man, anything can happen, so it takes a lot of luck.
Fresh off of a rebrand in 2024, it quickly became our biggest year yet. With the action bringing us to 31 different racetracks, we produced over 351 live events. Short track racing continues to grow, and our mission is to help make it thrive. From our hometown heroes to those on the national stages, even across the world.
All right, we're back, and we're getting ready for the restart. Man, oh man. Settle in for this one. It's about to be a humdinger. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland, and we are about to come back to the restart with 20 laps to go. Here they come to the line. 19 remaining. And Dennis Moore with a great restart on the field going back into turn number one, Jacob.
Then you got the Wests up on the top side, the Elder West, Devin West, and Dan West Jr. Right on the inside, you had Christopher White trying to get going. He's got to get a little bit of help. Kenneth Garber, got to get up. Give him the shove. Give him a little bump draft. And here we go, Devin West trying to see if he can muster something up. Dan West Jr. And what might could have been, he's up on the top side all by himself. More leads off four.
Staying in line, 18 to go. Watching all of this going on down into turn number 2 to the back straightaway. Who's got anything for the driver there? That's the question. Do you roll your dice? Do you do-si-do with your partner, Jacob? That's the main point. As you've got teammates and then you got other drivers that are just trying to be somebody of the Northwest this year. Some guys that I think of include Christopher White. It's been a while since he's won. This year, none. And then how about Johnson or Kynes? Drivers that have had bad luck in the past. They're right there in the catbird seat. As we go almost 3 wide for the lead. Chris White up high. Can't get there. Garber on the inside with 16 to go at the line.
Yeah, Garber's going to follow West on that inside lane. Dennis Moore is going to have to hold on and hope that Christopher White will stick with him, or he's going to take it all the way to the top. Try to go 3 wide. Devin West holding it right on that white line. Here comes Garber. Garber gives him a kick in the pants. Tries to get him moving. Moore trying to do it all by himself. Christopher White starting to slip back. New leader here in Vegas. Devin West will take the lead. He is clear, all clear. Now Garber goes for second.
West and Garber, Moore right there. Look at Sean Brightsman also. He wants to make some noise here down the stretch, and he certainly will try. Unbelievable. What a show these guys have put on, Jacob Reeves, and we're not done yet.
No, buddy, we ain't done by a long shot. Look at Garber up here trying to get this outside train rolling. He may have opened the door for Dennis Moore, and it's exactly what happened. Here comes Dennis Moore down to the inside. Devin West going to try to put the block on him, but he can't do it. He's got to figure out who he wants to block, Moore or Garber. He thinks about Garber. Here comes Moore down to the inside. It may end up costing Devin West, but he will get that run off 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead. Devin West, Dennis Moore. Here comes the 46. That's Bratzman. 3 wide right behind him.
Wow.
Garber gets stuck in the middle. Here comes White up top. Moore battling with West for the left. 3 wide back there for the third spot off turn 2.
Unbelievable, and the race goes on down into turn number 3 to the inside. It is Moore. It is West. Here comes Garber. Brightsman right there along in the battle. Here comes 4 trucks. Now make Dan West Jr. run down White for 5th. It's 12 to go. A dozen laps remaining. You better lay your cards on the table. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Who's the gambler of Sim City in Vegas tonight? Off 2.
It might be Devin West, to be honest with you. He straight up said it. Or it could be Kenneth Garber. How about it? Started 9. He's up here when he needs to be here on the outside. Christopher White lined right up behind him. Moore holding on to the lead. West down on the inside. Him and Garber almost doorbank coming off turn. Dennis Moore kind of looking like a state trooper on I-75 with everybody else behind him. Nobody figured it out how to get by him, but here comes Devin West trying to get clear of Garber, but he can't do it. Now Dennis Moore just blocking inside and out.
Set his sights, working on the inside lane. Now back on the outside lane. They work their way to the line. It'll now be 10 laps to go. 10 remaining. It is Moore in the lead. West in second. Brightsman now. There's Friends. We talked about Friends. You got to have them. You got to need them. Brightsman, West, their teammates. They're going after Win Racing's Moore in 2.
Yeah, may see a little bit of a bump draft right here to probably try to slingshot him and shoot him past Dennis Moore. But Kenneth Garber is going to play a little bit of a factor as well, keeping it up on the top side. Here comes Devin West down on the inside. Moore slides up. Moore gets tight. 3 wide for second. Bratzman down on the bottom side helping his teammate Devin West. West takes the lead. Bratzman's going to go to second. Here comes Garber going for second as well. Moore's going to help out Garber.
Under 10 remaining. Who bounces out of line? That's Dennis Moore. He'll go after now White. White now and Moore, they make contact. They shuffle up the racetrack. This lets Garber go to third. Devin West now the new leader. 8 laps to go. Brightsman, Garber, now they're the new top 3 into turn 1.
Boy, Dennis Moore has got to be the most upset. Caution! Caution is out on the speedway. Wow. Cody Vickery.
Unbelievable. Caution out. Look at this again. The 14 into the fence, and I mean hard.
I mean, it kind of looked like he was trying to check up right there for Ryder Shiflett. Looked like Shiflett might have got up into the fence, and Vickery was just trying to stay off of him. He ends up getting tagged and turned around by Brett Johnson. We'll check it out one more time on the instant replay. See what happens. There you see Shiflett, the 2 up on the top side. Yeah, bounces off the fence. Vickery tries to see a hole, but the hole is not there. And Johnson looks like he was there. And Vickery just saw a hole and it wasn't there. He ends up getting turned off the nose of Johnson and sends him around. But it all started right there with Ryder Shiflett bouncing off the wall going into turn 1.
Anybody pitting, Jacob? Or do you think you got your bed the way you got to have it? It's what we're going to see is what we see here at the end. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably pretty much at it. I mean, Sean Brightsman, actually, he jumped down pit road. A couple of others look like they might have jumped down pit road, but honestly, I think, for some of these guys up here, Devin West, Kenneth Garber, Christopher White, Dan West Jr., top 5 guys, I think that you basically made your bed. You're going to have to lay in it. But Brightsman went in. He'd probably going in getting 4 fresh tires because they was running real hard right there, Wesley. At this point, the worst he's going to finish is what, 10th? Try something different than everybody else. Throw you 4 fresh tires on there and just see what happens.
Next week, we're short track racing. Next week, short track racing at Richmond. That'll be a fun one.
Always a good time with short track racing, Wesley.
Yes, sir. Gotta love the. My apologies, guys. I hit something and it made a noise. My bad. So gotta love the upcoming schedule. Obviously, another track we're going to, which is going to be really cool for a lot of these Northwest guys. Jacob, is Portland, Oregon. Portland International Raceway. That's a road course track that we saw a couple of years ago, the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the trucks race at, and obviously we are running there in 2 weeks after, remember, Richmond next week. We take off the first weekend of April. That's April 7th, and then we race at Portland. That'll be fun.
Wesley, I talked about that a while ago. Short tracks, I look at them as wild cards. Road courses, look at them as wild cards as well, because believe it or not, you go to or you go there at road course. Sometimes it's basically like going to a Daytona or a Talladega or even a new Atlanta. Guys just go to road courses just to survive. We've seen it. Some of the best that iRacing has to offer, or NASCAR or whatever has to offer, to go to road courses and just straight up blow it. And other guys just go in there just to survive, and somehow or another they come out with a top 10. So, it could be a wild card right there for the next 2 races here for the Northwest Racing Truck Series.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're about ready to bring them back to the green flag. Here they come with 5, now make it 4 laps to go in the regular scheduled distance. There is a chance at overtime with 2 attempts if need be. And we're wrecking. John Brightsman crashes into the pack. Other trucks get caught up in it, and this makes it now a reality. Overtime here now, Jacob, at Vegas.
Wow. Big old stack up right here on the top side. Looked like it might have been Dan West Jr. just stacked it up, might have spun the tires or missed a gear. You see it right here. Lowther able to shoot high, but Brightsman, just last minute decision right there, last second. Absolutely nowhere for him to go. Kynes ends up tagging him in the back end, sends Brightsman around. A couple of others went around with the likes of Kevin Smith going around as well. But unfortunate for Brightsman, hell, he just went in to get tires. He was ready to rock and roll right there. And then that caution, all that happens to him, and then basically just puts him in a hole.
Overtime is about to go down, and we are getting ready for it. We're also at the top of the hour. We'll pause very quickly for 10 seconds of network and radio identification on CRN the Community Radio Network, the Northwest Racing Series from Vegas. The finish is coming up on deck next.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the voice of the Northwest Racing iRacing Series on LSRTV and proudly again on the Community Radio Network. As always, we're excited for another season of the best iRacing Pacific drivers of the Northwest putting on a show that you all enjoy every Monday night. Join us also on LSRTV or listen on the Community Radio Network at wearecrn.com. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener, iRacing style, CRN, LSRTV for the Northwest Racing Series. Jacob, who the hell is that ugly guy on the screen?
I have absolutely no idea. I can't see nothing. My screen just broke. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding with you. I'm kidding with you.
That's it. Already. You're out of here.
Yeah. We got beef already.
No. Pleasure always to join you all. And you now see what the face looks like with the voice. I'm Wesley Outland. Jacob Reeves alongside long dear friend of many years with NASRA. And if people did not know, back in the day, the NASRA used to be on LSRTV, the NASRA Truck Series. And obviously, they got their own rebranding network in-house, kind of like the way LSRTV does with the Northwest in-house. And we now, Jacob Reeves, get ready for a shootout here, an overtime finish at Vegas. Remember, 2 attempts at overtime if need be. And we're about to watch the first one happen next time around at the restart box.
Oh, baby, this is going to get good right here. Obviously, as far as overtime rules go, I mean, if they make it all the way to the white flag, they could they could literally pile on the backstretch. First one back to the line's going to end up winning the race. But if they ended up wrecking before they get to the white flag, re-wreck them, restack them, do it again. And Wesley, it's been a fantastic race. I don't want to see this sucker end under caution right here. I would love to see a green flag finish right here with these boys.
Yeah, I would love it too as well. And by the way, I know that you've got to get up early in the morning for your job, so I will handle post-race interviews so you can get out of here and head up to bed, my friend, because I know that I appreciate you stepping in at the last minute, filling in, sir, and I hope you enjoyed it. As hopefully we'll do it again. Pace car is coming onto pit lane. We get ready for overtime. Devin West, Kenneth Garber on the front row. Overtime 1, they got to take the white flag for the race to end. If not, we try a second attempt. It is Devin West leading them down into turn number 1.
Oh, boy, and they're wrecking. There they go. Garber, White, they get spun around. Moore tried to make a hole, and bam, there goes Garber and White going into 1, and we're going to overtime again.
Yeah, we're at least going to go to another overtime. A second overtime attempt hangs in the balance as we look at a replay of what just happened again. Watch the replay there, Jacob. They were heading your way to turn number 1 when all hell broke loose.
Yeah, all hell really did break loose. Watch Dennis Moore right here. He bounces. He didn't hit the wall, but he comes down. Bam, gets straight into White and sends him straight up into Garber. And both of them end up going around. And ironically enough, the one that initiates the caution gets away scot-free, Wesley. We've seen that a lot of times. But, you hate to call them out on that, but, I've seen it numerous times done that way. Once again, Moore gets up on the top side, tries to come down, but he comes down way too much. Ends up clipping White, sends him straight up into Garber, and both of them go really hard up into the outside rotative wall. There you see the contact with Moore coming down into White. Right up into Garber. Garber just an innocent bystander once again. And Wesley, I might have said it a couple times tonight, but I think there may be some beef out of all that right there when this thing's all said and done. I think there may be some beef.
Will we see beef? That's the question. As right now, we will get ready for a restart. It will be the second attempt of overtime. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Wow. Well, strap in. We'll try it again, right? That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
By the way, don't forget to join us on the Community Radio Network tomorrow. We've got coverage of a doubleheader baseball coverage at 4 and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Whole bunch of other cool things lined up as well. Cars Tour at Wake County. We've got the Modified Mafia at Needmore Speedway down in southern Georgia. And so much more. So make sure you plan to join us on the Community Radio Network. We are CRN.com. I'm not broadcasted cricket, but we have done lacrosse. Man, it's kind of close, right? I mean, what is it called? I don't know what Quidditch is. What does that mean? Quidditch? Oh, yeah. I've never been a fan of Harry Potter, so I don't know about it. Yeah, that's sorry. Don't know it. I mean, I'm being honest, man. I ain't never watched none of the Harry Potter movies. I got a life. I stay busy. I'd work. Sorry. Yeah, but I mean, I don't, I find better things to do in my life than watch Harry Potter.
Beef all the way around right here.
Have I made him mad, Jacob? What do you think?
You might have right there. You might have. I mean, look. Yeah, you. I mean, it's good part. Look. I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter neither and everything else, but I know that those Harry Potter guys, they are diehard into it, just like me and you are with college football. So,
yeah,
everybody's got their own thing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and now once again, Charles just trying to instigate stuff here. It's midnight for him, so he's playing around while it's 1 o'clock in the morning for us. Coffee. All right. Well, we're about to see what happens here on a restart with Devin West, Brett Johnson. Boy, could Brett Johnson put himself in contention to win his first ever Northwest Racing Series sanctioned event. Devin West, last year's champion. He's right there amongst all of them. Dennis Moore's back up there. Troy Daggett, what a season he's been. Consistent as we work our way back for the second and final attempt at overtime. Devin West with a great restart, but Brett Johnson going to power along on the outside. Troy Daggett on the bottom as they work into turn 1.
Yeah, Daggett down on the bottom side. Here comes Dan West Jr. They're going to bypass Brett Johnson. Johnson stuck up on the top side. Here comes Daggett. Troy Daggett down to the inside. Devin West ain't able to put the block on him. Caution is out, and that is going to do it. Looks like Devin West might have got it.
Yellow flag is out there crashing in the back. This will be the white flag, the one to go indication, as it looks like 14th and 16th position get involved in an accident. I believe that's Todd Miles and Cody Vickery. And this will set up the final lap. It will finish under caution. And Jacob Reeves trying to mirror the pace car is Devin West. Devin West will work his way into turn number 3 and 4. And for career start number 182, he picks up his 31st career Northwest victory to go along with 106 top 5s, 130 top 10s. Devin West down to the line behind the pace car, looking for the checkered flag. He will win in double overtime the Sim City 200 when the race is over right now here at Vegas, Jacob. There it is. It is official.
Yeah, very storied career right there for Devin West, and awesome to see him get that win right there. Troy Daggett, Dev West Jr. How about that right there? Father-son duo right there. One spot short of making it literally 1-2 finish right there for the father-son. But, hey, father-son on the podium. Wesley, I mean, that's big right there, honestly. I mean, that's big in anything right there. To have a father-son be in that situation right there. But great race right there for Devin West.
Let the celebration begin as Devin West now works his way around the pace car, and he will celebrate as well as everyone else. Jacob Reeves, I got a little surprise for you, buddy. Have you ever heard of the Northwest High Five Salute?
I have not.
Well, it goes a little something like this. Any moment now, Devin West burning it down, and there is your Northwest High Five Salute.
Damn.
Have you ever seen anything like that in iRacing? What is it? Do what?
I was expecting a soundbite or something. I was expecting some sounds to be played. I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, there's a soundbite. Yeah, there's your soundbite, brother. That's what they do. Every race, when it's over, we have what we call the Northwest High Five Salute.
Somebody got high right there. I'll promise you that. And they're all getting high now.
As long as you've been a part of iRacing or calling iRacing, Jacob, have you ever seen any kind of post-race celebration like that before?
Coming to the checkered flag. That's about as far as I've went with it. Coming to the checkered flag, everybody wrecking at the line, trying to get to it. That's about as far as I've known on it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at the results tonight for round number 3 of season 12 of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series here at Vegas in the SimCity 200. Devin West will pick up the victory. Troy Daggett second. Dan West Jr. third. Dennis Moore fourth. Sean Brightsman the top 5. By the way, we'll talk to the podium top 3 in just a moment. Sean Brightsman, then it's Dan Lowther 6th. Chris Kynes. Taylor Alto will finish in 8th position. Stephen Paulison 9th. And Spencer Hamilton Jacob will finish in the top 10.
And Christopher White and Kenneth Garber, hate to see it for them, what could have been for their nights this evening. They end up finishing 11th and 12th, last trucks to finish on the lead lap. Brett Johnson, Todd Miles, Chris Walters, the top 15, and Cody Vickery. Jeff Stabnow, the pole sitter, ends up finishing 17th here this evening with Ryder Shiflett, Tyler King, and Kevin Smith rounding out the top 20.
There you go. Rest of the finishing order will find Mr. Ryan Bloom, Carl Burke, Robert Gamble, multiple laps down. All of these trucks either badly damaged or out at the finish. Scott Hutchinson, Bryce Clark finishing in the top 25. Paul Newton, Josh Childress, Roy Grande. He was making some noise earlier in the race till he got involved in an accident and crashed out. Stephen Bartlett and Frank Harris, the top 30. And one more driver finishing in the rest of the field, including Chase Carrillo, Corey Eckelbarger, Eckelbarger, I meant to say Eckelbarger. And then it is, of course, Ron Hunter, unable to start the race in trouble for him early and going in the number 30. Final look at our race summary here tonight at Vegas. 9 cautions, 25 caution laps. A lot of the cautions happened there at the end. First half was pretty straightforward racing, and then the second half, it got wild and woolly. 21 lead changes, Jacob Reeves, when it ended here tonight. Buddy, before I let you go, because I know you got to get in the bed and get ready for your early morning schedule working down in Georgia. Pleasure having you. Hope we do it again. Your take of tonight's Northwest Racing Series experience, buddy.
Well, Wesley, thank you very much for this. And, I mean, it was a fantastic race, in my opinion. I mean, you had everything you wanted right there at the start of it. And then once it hit 20 to go, all hell ended up breaking loose all the way around, literally. You had no idea who was going to win this race. Dennis Moore, I would think, led most of the laps here in this race. I thought Dennis Moore was going to be one of those guys to win the race. And then all of a sudden, it's like I said, everything started happening. People started flipping. People started going left, right. People started wrecking and everything. You just didn't know who was going to win it, and kept me on the edge of my seat. I'm sure it kept everybody on LSRTV on the edge of their seat, and also with CRN. So, awesome race. Congratulations to Devin West. And everybody involved, baby. It was a pleasure.
Stay with us. We're taking a break, and when we come back, I will grab the podium 3, Devin West, the winner tonight. Win number 31 of the Northwest Racing Series with Jacob Reeves. He'll step away. We'll close it out from the SimCity 200 when we come back. Welcome back to virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We grab now post-race for tonight's top 3 at the end of the SimCity 200. Finished in double overtime. Jacob Reeves, phenomenal job working with him. I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten on the production side of things. And we work our way after tonight for Richmond next week to wrap up the first 4 weeks of the season. Let's go to Victory Lane. Third different winner in 3 races, Devin West. Congratulations. Man, it wasn't easy. That was a pretty wild race here tonight at Vegas. I got a feeling this is a track that the West family likes a lot.
I don't like it. I don't know how I won. I think the first 25 laps, I decided that I was come on here and say this track sucks. And I won, so it's great. So, yeah, that's pretty good.
Man, I'll tell you what, so obviously, did you have a feeling it was going to be crazy like this with the double overtime and just the way it got really intense there? Because the first 100 miles, it seemed pretty laid back, but that second 100 miles, it was very, very entertaining, knowing anybody could have won that thing.
Yeah, it was a weird race. I feel like I don't know where that like too wide, like side-by-side Daytona type stuff came in that last like 25-ish laps. Because the first half of the race, really more than that, was honestly, I was not having much fun. I thought the truck was a little tighter than we wanted to, so I made some adjustments. Fortunately, those worked. Jeff gave us an awesome truck. But otherwise, yeah, I just wasn't really doing too well, and I kind of forgot why. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a weird race.
Well, buddy, before we let you go, please thank your sponsors. And, hey, man, with this win, as long as you run the amount of minimum races required, you're in the playoffs and you get to make another run for championship.
Yep, I should be here for most of the races, so I look forward to that. But, yeah, like I said, LSRTV, get some booting great. Look forward to watching the race after this. Team LSRTV, like I already said, Jeff has gave us some great sets to start the season off, and I don't foresee that changing, so... and then obviously, Brett, John couldn't be tonight, unfortunately. Look forward to him being back next week. Dad and Sean, and then Effective Web Solutions, Marshall Distributing, and Kenny Scott Hardware.
There you go. Devin West out of Shelton, Washington picks up the win. His first win of the season, but it's not of his career. Devin West now in career start number 182, has 31 wins, 106 top 5s, and 130 top 10s for the driver of the number 5. 2 years ago, he was the champion of the Northwest Truck Series. Thank you. Let's grab now Troy Daggett. Troy Daggett, the quest for your first ever Northwest win continues to have to hold. Another solid run, though, man, in your 188th start in the Northwest, a 14th top 5 and a 49th top 10. A pretty interesting race when it's all said and done. Your take of this evening, sir.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be up here towards the end of the race. I mean, our setup was probably top 10 to 15th place setup. Wasn't the best, but just capitalized on people's misfortunes, and at the end there I had a set of tires, hoping for a few more laps to use them up, but we didn't get that opportunity. But it was a lot of fun racing up here with these guys and just trying to survive those two shootouts at the end, and one of these days we'll get the win.
Buddy, we're seeing you, though, be consistent this year. I mean, this is definitely a special season for Troy Daggett, at least the first, trio of races out of the gate, would you say?
Yeah, it's real special. I mean, 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s.
Yeah,
for races.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is real special. I mean, hopefully keep taking this momentum to keep going with it.
All right, buddy, before we let you go, Troy, on the 99, please thank your sponsors, and we'll see you next week when we're short tracking at Richmond.
Yeah, thank you. I thank LSRTV for broadcasting this. Sean and Jeff putting on the league. My wife and kids want me to get on here and race on these Monday nights. My teammates, Dan Lather, Chris Kynes, and Ron Hunter. Barb K, Custom Etching and Engraving, Novel Marine out of Post Falls, Idaho. And once again, I'd say congrats to Devin West on his win.
And there you go. There's the thoughts of Mr. Troy Daggett. And if you want to start to call him Mr. Consistency, you can. In his third race this year, another top 5, 2 top 5s, and 3 top 10s for the man of the number 99. Let's go down and grab the third place man, and that is the defending and 3-time Northwest Truck Series champion from Shelton, Washington, Dan West Jr. Your son will win. You'll finish third. Boy, it was a wild one here tonight, though. Your take of this evening, and happy with the podium finish, sir.
Yeah, I kind of echo what Devin said. I feel like we're pretty fortunate to get a top 3. I felt like right there around the 100-lap mark, we were really good, made that pit stop, and then that caution come out, so we were down a set of tires. But I think the truck, didn't start out real well. But adjusting on it all night long, I felt like we had a really good truck if we could have went green the whole way. So again, I feel fortunate to get the top 3. Congrats to Devin. Troy Daggett is the guy's awesome. I mean, I enjoy racing around him, and he's clean. He puts the truck in the right place at the right time. It's only going to be a matter of time before he gets his first win.
I'll tell you what as well, Dan, it's you look at all the things that have going on with the Northwest, and obviously we're in the new season for season 12, but you mentioned guys like Troy Daggett, or before the mishaps of the bad luck for guys like, some of the names that I just think of that had trouble of the past. Just guys that we normally see. Brett Johnson in the back of the pack with problems. Maybe other guys that we don't normally see up in the front contending. We saw that this evening, and I think we've seen that here in the last couple of races. Guys like, as I mentioned, Brett Johnson or Chris Kynes, or I don't even want to say Christopher White. He's had his share of good luck in winning in the series, but it's been a while. But maybe a Roy Grande or a new name like a Josh Childress or Taylor Alto. All these guys are really starting to represent the Northwest and making it interesting for guys that are like you, being veterans.
Oh, 100%. I mean, week after week, you're starting to see a lot more different trucks up front. You still got your, consistent trucks that do run up front. They're there, but like you say, the mix of the other trucks that were, say, middle pack trucks, the competition has risen incredibly. So it's awesome. I mean, I think it just makes it that much more fun for all of us, makes us want to work harder, makes us want to come out each week. So it's it's a good time. But I would like to thank Effective Web Solutions, LSRTV, Jeff Stabnow for his awesome setups. The whole team, appreciate their time, and want to shout out to Sean Breisman and apologize to him on that restart.
Yeah, it definitely got a little wild there for sure. Teammates fighting it out.
Yeah, missed a shift.
Well, man, before we do let you go, again, thanks again. There's Dan West Jr. He, of course, 3-time and defending champion of the Northwest Truck Series of Season 11. This year, he'll finish in another 3rd spot. 3 different winners in 3 races as now Paul Newton won Daytona. Dennis Moore obviously won last week at Phoenix. And tonight, Devin West wins here at Las Vegas in the Sim City 200. Next week, we are going short track racing at the action track. That is Richmond Raceway. Should be a fun time, same network, same station, TV, radio on LSRTV or CRN. As always, big thank you to Jeff Stabnow, John Onemacher, Sean Breitzman, everybody behind the Northwest Racing Series, and for Rocket Media with LSRTV, Mr. Jeff Stabnow. For Charles Wooten, thank you, Jacob Reeves, for filling in, the Redneck announcer. And, of course, as always, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations tonight to Mr. Devin West, winner in the Sim City 200. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next week at Short Track Richmond.